no major issues. We got all or 99% of the grammar things fixed up. And for the video, so there's two videos on the landing page. One of them is how to set up a MetaMask wallet, or how to download a MetaMask wallet, how to set up the wallet, how to import BSC, how to save your seed phrase, how to buy BNB off of Binance, how to send that BNB to your MetaMask, and then how to buy pigs. We're working on a fiat on-ramp right now, and when we get that, we'll be replacing it so it teaches people how to buy directly dogs and pigs with their debit or credit. Hopefully we get that before it goes live. And then the top video, which is an interview that I did, and you guys could probably tell. Someone thought I was reading off a script. I didn't read off a script. I did that whole video basically off the top of my head. But, I tried to make it exciting with some excitement and all of that, because we're using it for YouTube ads. So the YouTube ads that we designed have like a 30-second hook, and it goes into the interview. So there's a few things that we need to fix on the video, a couple small spelling issues. I want to have some more visuals. For example, when I'm talking about how the demand for liquidity providers is higher than ever, I want to show some charts that are displaying that it's higher than ever, and just some small changes I want to make. But overall, I'm very happy with the UI and our ability to deliver it. The guy who did our video, actually, the guy who edited the video, the top video, his wife had a baby yesterday. So, it was kind of crazy. Like, we got it all finished, and then we were rendering it, and then he got the call that his wife was having a baby. So, congratulations to him. I believe she had the baby. So, that's awesome. And it's always great to see people that are doing well and progressing in our community and having families. And, I've seen so many comments from people and testimonials about how drip and, BREAP and REAP have gotten people through a lot of tough times, and especially with COVID. And, nothing makes me happier. We've made dozens of millionaires, but for every millionaire that we've made, there has been hundreds, if not thousands, of people that, maybe would have missed a mortgage payment and were able to handle that, or paid for their food and wouldn't be able to pay for food, or, it's been a rough couple of years for a lot of people. And it's very rewarding to see that we're helping people get through it. And then there's all the people that are getting by, but they're building their wealth. And I believe the best way to build wealth is to continue to accumulate strong assets with solid fundamentals and a good forward-facing roadmap that pay dividends, and then securing some percentage of the dividends. I like to go 3 to 5%. So for me, I like to have assets that I'm comfortable with holding for decades. And then I like to take 3 to 5% of the dividends that I'm earning from them. And that's what I use. That's what I live off of. And then the rest either goes to compounding back into these assets, or diversifying. I don't over diversify, because there's only so many good assets to really buy, especially in crypto. So, I think that our products work really well for that model. And as far as diversifying, I'm happy that we've took the time and we've decided to launch a handful of products instead of kind of going laser focused on one. And that's because we're building an ecosystem here that for each new product that we build, it raises all ships. And also, it gives an opportunity for people to diversify and have a risk tolerance and a strategy that works for them based on their uh, based on the future facing strategy that they want to build, whether it's the amount of risk tolerance they want to have, or the percentage of dividends they want to claim, or however it is. We have multiple different ways that people can take advantage of these strategies on our platform, and I think that's a major positive. Plus, they all support each other. So, what I want to talk about today is the referral structure. So, right now, if you connect your wallet, you have the ability to refer people to the farms and pools. Now, the farm pool V2 contract are not wired up to the site, but when someone clicks on your referral link, it saves a cookie. And this cookie is basically storing a referral. And then when the contracts get wired up, the V2 contracts get wired up, and it goes live, and those people make their deposit or they earn their rewards, that referral bonus, when it's ready to be paid out, it references that cookie and rewards you for that referral. So just because the farm is not live yet does not mean that you can't take advantage of the referral structure yet. And now is really the time to do it, because there's a lot of low-hanging fruit that you guys can take advantage of. For example, making a Medium article. You make a Medium article, you share your referral link in there, someone reads the Medium article, and if it's interesting to them, they're going to click your link, and now you've just secured yourself a referral. And if you start now, you could potentially get hundreds of thousands of referrals by the time it goes live. So I want everybody to consider that. And if you notice on the landing page, we have articles there. Right now, we have one article for how to set up a MetaMask and import BSC for noobs. Then we have two articles about Animal Farm. One of those articles is by BSC News, and that was an interview that I did with them a couple weeks ago. And then another one was actually done by a community member. So if you do a solid article for us, whether it's on Medium or it doesn't really matter, as long as it's something that we can share and import onto our site, we'll use your articles on the site. And that's going to give you a ton of exposure. And we're going to cycle out those articles every couple of days to get, to keep it interesting, so everybody has something to read. And we're definitely open to using the articles that are made from our community. Medium's a pretty good way to do that. So definitely get on that if you're a good writer and you understand the system. That's a great opportunity for you to start making referrals and get some attention. So not only are you going to get attention to your article and your referrals, you're also going to get attention to your Medium account. And we have a user base of hundreds of thousands of users, so that's a lot of exposure that you can get to your Medium account. And exposure these days, people know exposure and influence is capital. It's one of the most important capital forms of capital that anybody can have these days. So definitely get on that. There's also the contest that we're running. So currently, there's a $5,000 prize. And the way this contest works is for each task you do, you get 1 point. And that point acts as an entry in the contest. It acts as a like a raffle ticket. And then when that countdown hits 0, one of those entries is going to get picked to win $5,000. And the BSC address that you put in to the contest is the BSC address that you will get paid out to. And we're doing that to ensure that people are not, faking it, like putting in fake BSC addresses. You put in a fake BSC address, then you're not going to get paid, because obviously before we send out the money, we're going to make sure it's a legit address. We're not going to send it to nobody. So that's something, that is a great vehicle that people can use. We're using a third-party software that verifies everything, so you can't fake it, right? If you're retweeting the tweet, it's verifying that you're retweeting the tweet, and if you unretweet it, kind of a weird way to phrase it, but if you unretweet it, your entry is going to get taken away. So we decided to use this service because a lot of traditional companies use it, and it works very well for them. And CMO that we brought on has 20 plus years of experience in traditional market, and through his experience, he was able to set us up there. Not just using that, but also we're using a bunch of other proprietary tools built on top of that allow us to track where the traffic is coming from, and then link it up to the data that is going into the contest. So, for example, someone clicks on one of our banner ads on wherever BSC scan, and then uses the contest. We're then able to link up the info they put into the contest with the fact that they were onboarded through this BSC scan link, and now we can use this data to have analytics on what ads are working out of those people that are using those ads. How many people have BSC addresses already? How many people are following us on Twitter? How many people are joining the Telegram group? This way we know where we need to be putting more resources and what's working, and what percentage of those people that are being forwarded to the site have BSC addresses. And if they have BSC addresses, then we know they're much more likely to actually be someone that follows through and is really onboarded and results in actually in the product. And of course, that's a major sign that tells us, okay, this is working. This is where we need to focus. As far as the new UI, I brought on a team of guys who worked on Scratchy with me. Scratchy is fully developed, so I took that off of Scratchy to get Animal Farm out and built the Animal Farm UI. We've been working endlessly on it. I mean, it's a big job, right? There's a lot of products, a lot of moving parts, a lot of info. So that was a really big job for us, and it took a lot of time and a lot of work. Now that it's effectively done, right? There's a few small things we want to polish up, and all that. But now that it's effectively done, I'm gonna put them on Drip now, and they're gonna be building out the Drip UI. So we'll have that Drip UI, within a week or two after Animal Farm goes live. It will likely be done before Animal Farm goes live, but I just don't want to do everything at once. You guys know how I am with that. So, I appreciate you guys being patient with the UI. I want you guys to know that the UI is not the same situation as the us going live on the 18th. With the UI, there was a bunch of things that took time that are kind of out of our hands. For example, we needed to activate Cloudflare for it once we went from the test site to the main site, and populate the data. Basically take the data from the test site and migrate it to the main site. And that's something you can only do once it goes live. You can't really, because once you do that, it's on, like the site's live, and that can take up to 72 hours. We then had to other things, some other services that take time. So some of the stuff as far as like us being able to go live like within was a bit out of our hands because web development is different. But for the animal farm launch, it's like it went today with countdown, where all we have to do is unpause, and we wrote scripts that allow us to unpause everything at once. So on the 18th, it's not going to be kind of delay, any kind of foreign standard time. It's going to be Eastern Standard Time, and probably around 11 a.m. And as soon as that counts to 0, we'll be live. So make sure that you're there. Now that we have the UI up and we have the link page for people, we can start our our paid marketing. So today, my main focus was to get the site up and to address any of the little issues, because the way web developers, you do a bunch of testing. We had the DAO test. We wanted to prevent leaks, so we had a selective few people from the DAO testing over the weekend. And then yesterday, we opened it up to the full DAO to test, and they caught a bunch more little small spelling errors and stuff like that. But there's always going to be one or two small things that don't get noticed until you really open it up to thousands of people. But you know that the functionality works and the security is there before you put it. So that was the case. And now that it's up, we're ready to go with marketing. So when I get off of this call, I'm going to the meeting about marketing to planning stuff tomorrow. So tomorrow, I'm not going to say exactly what we're going to have. I'm going to keep some excitement there, but we're going to start with the major Twitter influencers, the YouTube ad. People that saw the video at the top of the landing page. Part of that is what is being used to produce the YouTube video with some other content that's not in it, because it's not an ad on the landing page, and that's being put together today. So it was already done, but as I said, the guy that did the final rendering, he had a baby, and there was a few spelling mistakes and stuff like that. So today he's fixing those, and we'll have that ready by the end of today, and we can get the ads up effectively immediately, the YouTube ads, because we already set everything up and we already paid for everything. So it's just a matter of pushing it. Same with the Twitter influencers, we already paid them. Big YouTube influencer. So we have a couple YouTube influencers. They're both hit 250,000 to 300,000 viewers for every video they push, and that's community, right? They've been working in this long time, and they're making views and basically like tours of our platform, and a promo video should up. They said they can get those up within 5 days after we get lead, and the last thing that they're waiting for is the site, so they can go on the site in their YouTube video. So now that we have that, those should be going up within 5 days. That's a few big, really big Twitter influencers that are going to be started. That's a few really big YouTube influencers that are going to get started immediately. That's YouTube ads, and then ads are we already paid for Dex tools. We already paid for BSC scan. We paid for a bunch of them already. That site's up. We can start getting those up. Those will be going up starting tomorrow, or just we're gonna add it so everyone can all at once. we're gonna, tomorrow have a couple big influencers. The next day, a banner ad might go up. The next day, maybe our YouTube ads up, and then maybe a YouTube info. It's gonna be a steady flow of a few big things. If not every day, 3 or 4 week until 5, and it continues. As one of the main benefits of us having a V1 is that we're able to generate a decent cash flow. So that's your W for it, because we have a fund that we can spend 6 figures a month every month on market, and that without it even going live. And then once it goes live, of course, we're gonna be able to continue that. So it is gonna be huge for us. I'm very excited about putting it into play. The last thing we were waiting for was just the website to go up, and I wanted the website to be perfect. So it's when you want something to be perfect, there's always something else that can be improved. And I was kind of doing that, where we're like, all right, we're ready to go. Actually, the testimonials, I want them to be sliders, and I want the sliders to be faded on the side. Okay, let's do that. That takes a half an hour or whatever. Okay, we need to collect a few more testimonials, and then it's always something that can be improved on. But I got to the point where I was very happy with it, and it was presentable. That's another thing. I wanted to make sure we did it all at once, so we gave the community the full effect, and not just a little bit at a time. We want it to be exciting and really allow you guys to realize everything that we've put into it, and have that impression, because we put a lot of work into it. So what else can I say? On the of course, on the 18th, we'll be going live, and the way that will look is we'll have a countdown. 30 minutes before the countdown hits 0, we'll be unpausing the tokens. And when I say the tokens, I mean the dog token and the ability to add liquidity, and the farms and pools. When the farms and pools enter, we'll then start a half an hour countdown. At that point, the emissions will start. I made a Twitter post and basically exclaimed that there's nothing like us in DeFi. There's no other DeFi platform where the users of the platform are earning equity in the platform as they utilize the service of the platform, and then are able to secure profit in the form of a dividend, a BUSD and BNB dividend. And that is so huge. People who know how to build wealth, and people who have spent, it's in the market, as I have, know how powerful it is to own equity in a strong company with strong market fit, and then secure profit in the form of a dividends that does not require you to give up equity in the company to secure profit. If you look at a lot of these other projects, essentially these other projects, in order to secure profit, you need to sell or give up your share of the project. Most of them don't have any kind of equity ownership anyway. Most of them, it's a token. The only way to make profit is if someone else comes and buys the token at a higher price than you. And in order to secure that profit, you need to sell your asset. Animal Farm is completely different. With Animal Farm, you can accumulate your assets, both non-native assets and our native asset. And as you accumulate assets, you're growing a greater share of the equity that you own of the platform, increasing your dividends. And now, in order to secure profit, you don't need to now sell your assets, which in this case would be selling a share equity in the platform. You can secure those profits in the form of a dividend that do not require you to ever sell the tokens or sell the assets, the animal farm dogs, the animal farm pig token. And when you have a model that incentivizes this kind of wealth generation, it's incredibly powerful. So recognize the different mechanics that are at play here. There's the dog token. So when you stake on Animal Farm, when you stake your non-native assets, your chain link BNB pair or your BNB BUSD pair, you stake it in there, you start earning the reward token. You start earning the dog token, and your BNB BUSD or BNB Chainlink LP tokens, whatever you stake, are now lent out to PancakeSwap. And now they're earning 30 to 40% APY. Now, in order to access that APY, you either need to buy pigs or utilize that reward token that you just earned through staking of those non-native tokens and either putting them in the auto compounding account, which you're earning BNB on, and that BNB is being used to compound you into the dog's BNB pool to earn pigs, which is now increasing your share ownership of the platform, and that capital that's being earned, that extra 30 to 40% APY that's being earned through the lending to PancakeSwap, now being paid to you through the pig pen. And the dog token you earned through providing that liquidity is earning BNB for you while you're reducing your tax on transacting it. So the incentive for selling the dog token is almost zero, because when you initially get it, the tax is 69%, depending on how you use the platform. If you use the platform for a significant amount of time, your tax on all your dogs that you transact by 30%. So your initial tax on any dogs that you acquire will be 60 to 90%. Now, you would be foolish to sell those dogs at that tax. So there's little to no incentive to sell the dog token as a way to secure profit, at least not short term. But you're highly incentivized to use it to farm pigs and to accumulate and grow your share equity in the platform, because those tokens that you staked to earn those dogs are now generating cake, which is being sold for BUSD and paid out as a BUSD dividend to the owners of the platform. So you're highly disincentivized from selling the dog token, and you're highly incentivized to use it to accumulate your share ownership of the platform to secure the BUSD that you're generating through lending swap. Now, as that's being as this is taking place, the decentralized dynamic supply control algorithm is also looking at the demand for the animal farm dog token and the pig token and adjusting the emission rate based on this demand. So the incentive structure is not only heavily rewarding people for securing profit in the form of a dividend, and highly disincentivizing people for securing profit in the form of short-term speculative price action trading. It's also addressing the supply side of this supply and demand calculation, which determines price, to reduce supply during price corrections. And when you combine these mechanics together, that's designed to pay out yield while being the highest price performing yield generating assets ever. There's nothing like it in DeFi. And we have a massive user base already. We have tens of dollars, which are already the farm, also associated with the dog token. We have to, like, if you include like what's wrapped up in the dog token, what's in the farm, what's in the LPs, what's like you accumulate everything all together, it's probably around 50 million, something like 50-60 million dollars. Tens of millions of that is associated with the dog token, and that immediately becomes the carrot for people who are being credited dogs and new people who are yielding or earning yield in dogs and buying dogs, because this cap is in the dog's liquidity pool immediately becomes essentially a dividend pool, as people who have this liquidity wrapped up in dogs, if they were to immediately sell the token, then they've just generated a ton of BNB for people who are in the dog pound, and a ton of BUSD for people who are using their dog tokens to farm pigs and are growing their share equity in the company to earn the BUSD in the pig pen. So it's the supply and demand is being addressed by multiple different mechanics that are all aligning incentives in the most optimal way possible. And it has all of the benefit of a traditional vesting system without any of the negative externalities. And what I mean by that is a traditional vesting model, it's locking up your tokens. So it's saying you can't spend these tokens for a month, or you can spend a portion of these tokens once a month to become unlocked. And when you have a model like this, everybody knows when a large portion of those investors are going to be unlocked at the same time. And the insiders and the savvy investors, even if they're positive on the project, know that there's going to be a large increase in supply on this date at the same time. And inevitably, some of those are going to hit the market. So there's going to be a price correction. So what they do is they front run it. They sell the day before, or they sell a few minutes before, knowing that the price is likely going to go down. And if they want to buy back in, they can buy back in lower, most likely. And if they don't want to buy back in, well, now's the time to take profit because the price is about to go down. With our model, we don't have these kinds of unlocking periods. So it's a vesting model which is using a variable tax. And this tax is reducing for people at different rates based on their actions, and it's not a binary where it's locked or unlocked. So everybody needs to make their own decision when it makes sense for them to transact the dogs based on the current tax. And that's going to look different for everybody. So there's no point where people can know with certainty when a bunch of dog tokens are going to hit the market. So it has all of the benefits of vesting because we know that when it's at 90%, next to no one's going to sell. When we know when it's at 60%, next to no one's going to sell. When it gets down to 30 or 20%, maybe some percentage of people will sell, but the majority will not. And those people who do sell are now creating further incentive not to sell because they're generating dividends both in the dog pound and the pig pen. And the beauty of it is that a traditional vesting model is just the stick. You know, people say the stick and carrot. So the traditional vesting model is just the stick. It's just your tokens block. That's it. But this is a full stick and carrot method where there's a tax which acts effectively like a lock, but doesn't have the negative externalities of having binary unlock periods where a bunch of supply hits the market at the same time and is timeable by speculators. But it's also the same model that is preventing tokens hitting the market, that is creating a reward structure for people to put their token on the market. And the more people that put tokens on the market, the more incentive there not to, because the BNB generated to pay out people who are not doing it is increasing. The dynamic supply algorithm restricts the supply in those times to make the dog and pig tokens that much more valuable, because now they're deflating in supply. So I think it's going to take a little bit of time. People will, get their hand all the moving parts. But, this is why we took months to develop, because this was not just we're going to make the back-end stake contracts work for the V2 syrup pools now. This was, we're going to take everything we've learned over our whole career as investors and traders, and we're going to build, and from V1, and we're going to build the best yield aggregating and lending system that exists, period. Not just in DeFi, but in all markets. And that's what we've done. And it's going to be extremely exciting to see it play out, because I know these dog and pig tokens are going to fly. And the pig tokens, people ask, are we going to increase tax for the pig token? And the answer to that is no. The reason for that is because I want there to be one liquid asset that can be, reasonably tradable and bring in speculation, because you need some element of speculation to make a liquid market. And it's basically called the velocity of capital. And you need some velocity of capital to have a liquid functional market. And the pig token allows us to do that. But if people are selling their pig tokens instead of using it to earn a dividend, they're just increasing the dividends for people that are not doing that. And the dog token and the dynamics of the loyalty system and the dog token are perfectly designed to heavily incentivize people to use those dog tokens to accumulate pigs and then earn the dividends that are being generated through the non-native staking, through the back-end lending, through the deposit withdrawal fees of the non-native staking, and also all of the BNB and BUSD that's being generated from the trading of dog tokens. It's I don't want to sound like I'm bragging, but I just really believe there's nothing like it in DeFi. It's just really, really a powerful system. Something that drives me is to develop systems that incentivize users to do what is best for them to generate wealth. So, as everybody knows, there was a lot of meme tokens, right, that did big pumps, right? They did big pumps, they did big dumps, and people might have did a 10x on them. People might have did whatever, right? They made a move with them. The majority of people lost money, because when you're doing speculative trading, the majority of people are always going to lose money, and typically it's 90+%. When you look at our systems, the people who are speculative trading, they may make money, they may lose money, but there's a clear path to profit, and we make it as easy as possible by just utilizing our products in the way they're designed. If you utilize products in the way they're designed, you're using investment strategy that has been proven the test of time in traditional markets, in crypto, and in DeFi especially. So there's plenty of people that made a 10x or 20x as a meme token or whatever. Look at what people are making in drip, right? People have made thousands of X in drip through the FAUCET and through exponential interest, right? Compound interest. And I believe Animal Farm kind of takes that to the next level through the share of equity and the ability to actually earn equity in the platform itself, and then have the dividends paid out in BNB and BUSD instead of the native token. So I believe Animal Farm is taking that model in drip that has been so successful and really just taking it to the next level, but also creating further incentive for people to get into drip and utilize their drip through the drip BUSD farm on Animal Farm. And also, the Unity game for Drip Garden is something that we host on our main site, the Unity environment, and we just struck a deal with guys who developed that to which allows us to be able to control the security of it and host it on our site. And they're going to continue to develop it under supervision to add more functionality and more in-game functionality, so ability to actually connect to your wallet and do various actions, not just call the function in the current drip garden, have additional gameplay that you can use to make money and earn drip. And we're going to host it on the Animal Farm site. So that's another major thing that's coming for drip. We also have the game, right? The PIGGYBANK game, which is awesome. And also is just massive because the game itself, you know nothing about DeFi and be able to utilize the game, have a blast, and earn money on it, and not even know what's going on in the back end. But what is going on in the back end is the use of our various contracts. So drip are being sent to the drip FAUCET, tax vault. Pigs are being staked into the pig pen. When people deposit BNB or BUSD, it's being swapped for pigs and staked on the behalf of the back end. So we're going to have the game on the Animal Farm domain, but also on its own domain. And on its own domain, we're going to strictly go for just promoting the game as an awesome game that people can buy into with crypto and make crypto on, but not even get into all the other functionality, back-end functionality, how it works into our ecosystem. Just make it super simple for the people that maybe don't know a lot about DeFi, but are just interested in dipping their toes in the water. And then we'll hosting it on the Animal Farm site as well, and that's where the real detail is made clear about how it's being used for our whole ecosystem. I'm working a wiki right now. So instead of using the PDFs, we're going to have a wiki. I want to get that out by within the next 48 hours. It's a lot of info. It's a lot to do, but we're working on it. And I think that this is being streamed right now and being saved. So we've been going for about an hour. I want to keep it short and tight so we can, so people will watch this and we'll be able to spread it around. And I think main point I want to prompt is if you refer somebody right now, then connect you all, you can set up a referral link. And if you share it right now, the person who clicked on it, they're going to get a cookie saved, and it's going to credit you when it goes live based on that referral. So now's the time to start. And a good way to do that is by promoting the project on various platforms, on Reddit, on Facebook, on Twitter, all over the place, and sharing your link. Another thing is articles. So if you write an article, and it's a quality article, if you're a great writer, write the article and then let us know, and make sure to include your referral link in there, because we'll host it on the front page, on that landing page. And we already have one community member's article up there. We have a article with Yahoo Finance that's about to drop. We just made a deal with Bloomberg. All right, we're gonna have a Bloomberg article about to drop. We got banner ads at other major sites. We got 2 major YouTubers who are just waiting for the video to go up, so they can include. Sorry, we're just waiting for the website to go up so they can include the website in their video. That's about to hit. Our YouTube ads are about to hit. Banner aid and secured for 50 million followers worth of Twitter influencers ready to go, and they're specifically crypto influencers. So we got the largest crypto influencers on Twitter on board, already paid, already secured, and we didn't just go for who had the biggest numbers. We really paid attention to their engagement to make sure it's legit, and they have legit followers and legit engagement. And we picked the best, and they have over 50 million combined of Twitter followers, and they're crypto people, right? They're interested in crypto. These are crypto influencers. So that's huge. I don't believe there's ever been a DeFi platform that has had that kind of campaign, right? That has been able to reach over 50 million unique users that are familiar and interested in crypto and DeFi. That's where we're about to play out. So I'm going to get off this call. I'm going to jump in with my team, with marketing, and we're going to start scheduling stuff, for tomorrow and just, push it out. So now's the time to do your thing, share your referral links, and get your friends involved, right? It's not just about referrals. I know, my cousins, I let my cousins know about the projects. I let some of my friends know. And, I'm the family hero right now because, my family and my friends have more money, getting involved with my project than they've made working all year and to depend on the people that have been able to their family. Me, I don't even get too much to it with them. I just learn the site, develop it so you can trust it. Here's how you use it. Let them do their own thing. And then, a couple weeks later, my cousin hits me up and he's like, hey man, I dipped my toes in, I'm doing well, I'm doing this. And he's someone that's just another member of the community now, and you have the ability to do that for your friend and family, and really be the hero in your family when all your family and friends are making more money through your help, and maybe they've made all year. So do it for that. Don't just do it to make a little bit of money, but of course the money is what we're here for. So thank you guys. I'm going to hop off now. I appreciate all of you. I'm so glad you like the website. There's a few people that I want to set up, Crypto Black Sheep. I want to set up an interview with him. Stunner. I want to set up an interview with him. Thomas G. I want to set up an interview with him. Of course, Bartertown. I'm going to continue to interviews with him. Guys, Gozu. There's a lot of guys that are in the community that I want pass me with to give them some love and attention. Appreciate all you guys. Thank you.
Forex, wait.
Yeah, what's up?
Forex, you want to do quick rapid questions?
Hi.
All right, real quick. These are the best I can give you right now. So, okay, this one is really, everybody needs to know this one. We have a high-grade funds in one, and we're gonna go about it.
Yeah. So we have a migration tract. It's going to happen most likely a half an hour it goes live. So farms pools are open for staking a half an hour before it goes live. That's most likely when that's going to happen. So right now, the two farm and pool contracts are not even. We have a second or actually third audit that is being done right now, and we've already had 2 audits. So we're not expecting really. We're just for the branding, just to have more audits on the page. Of course, the farms and pools need to fire it up for that to happen. And I'm gonna have to give more info about that as we, but likely gonna be with everybody else, 30 minutes before the trade starts, basically.
Got it. And okay, so here's a question. Somebody said, I've seen other projects that have exploits left behind by insiders to attack after launch. So has there been multiple checks of the code by third parties to ensure that everything is airtight? And you pretty much answered that right now.
Yeah, we've had multiple audits. We also have so we've done a Slither audit, which is an open source audit format that anybody can download on GitHub. And the beauty, if you can run a Python script, and the beauty of it is that it's open source, so it's always kept up to date with the latest and greatest as far as security for DeFi. And since it's open source, since anybody can run it, anybody can verify for themselves. So you don't even have to rely on some third-party company, because we all know the auditors have paid and there's still issues. So, of course, what's most important is integrity, the history of the development team. I would say that if we're not talking about actually looking at the code, talking about the average user, understanding and risk. Of course, always go with a development team that has stood the test of time and has shown that we've launched 5 or 6 projects and multiple contracts associated with this project, and we've never once had an exploit that cost them their capital. It's never happened. We never will, because we do extensive things. And I didn't just test with developers and myself that built the project. I also brought on an additional developer who had no part of building the contracts, just to write up his own test and do his own audit of the contracts. We all had two third-party auditing companies from auditing auditors that people recognize, and then we have open source audit through Slither, where anybody who can run a script can run themselves. You don't even have to rely on a third-party auditor. You can yourself. And then, of course, all of our contracts and scripts that we're pushing on the 18th are open source. So, if there's something like sneaky backdoor or something like that, that's almost always on closed source contracts. On very small or relatively small projects, when you get projects of our size and you have hundreds of thousands of users and you deploy it open source, you really can't get it with something like that. Someone's going to see it, someone's going to bring it up, and it's only a couple minutes before everybody would know about it. So the development team that I'm working with now are the same developers that I've been working with as far as the main building, but we brought on a couple extra really to ensure our quality control is up to point and up to par. So we're setting a new standard, not just for the usability and the aesthetics of it, but also our security and just the clean and smooth use case of it. And I think people who were involved with crediting dogs realized that went smoother and better than ever. There was not a single hiccup. There's, of course, when you have 1,000 people using it, you have one who that chew on broken, but no issues, right? It went as smooth butter. That's because we've had a lot of experience. We've learned a lot. We took our time to develop this, right? We didn't rush this. This is why we took our time to really make sure it's done right before we ever gave any game. And also, we had independent developers that came on their own that had nothing to do with building it. Sometimes if you're the one that built something or you're the one that worked on something, you might miss an issue that was in front of you for time. But when someone else wasn't, that didn't have their nose pressed against the paper or the screen, they come in and they see it right away. And that this is the benefit of working at developer group time. That was the first time on that, and I believe we're probably the only crypto project that's ever done that. Most of the time, the crypto project, one dev, two devs, they build everything, they run the tests. Very few that are hiring other devs because it's expensive, right? We're paying six figures to bring in other devs just to do testing. So yeah, we're not only that we are.
This is the last. This is it. So we can notice that we're going to be earning PIG token as well, the single dog stake pool. So just you know, like make that more clear. A lot of people are asking about it.
Yeah. So you have two options when you stake into the dog pound. The dog pound is our loyalty contract. So when you do the dog pound, you're earning, you're using the tax on transacting dogs. Now you can get into the non-compounding dog pound, and that BNB that you're earning just becomes claimable BNB. And the way it works is when someone swaps dogs, 1/3 of it of those dogs that is taxed goes to BUSD, gets swapped to BUSD, and goes into the Pigpen vault. And then this vault pays out 3% of its balance a day to the Pigpen. 2/3 of the taxed dogs, when someone transacts dogs, get swapped for BNB and goes to the dog pound vault. And this dog pound vault pays out 3% of its balance a day to people in the dog pound. So if you stake into the dog pound, non-compounding, you're earning BNB, which is then claimable. If you stake and your tax is reducing at a rate of 0.75% a day on the dogs that you have staked. If you go into the auto-compounding dog pound, you're reducing your tax by 1% a day, so you're reducing the tax on the dog just at 25% faster, plus the B that you're earning, half of it is used to buy dogs paired with dogs on your behalf and staked into the dog in B master chef contract. So staked into dogs in B farm to earn pigs. So if you get into the auto compounding dog pound, it's super bullish, reducing the tax on those dogs by 25% fast, plus you're earning BNB, plus they are compounded for you into the master chef contract to start to earn pigs, and you're earning compound interest pigs because your principal is continuously compounding, earning you compound interest in pigs. And what's available to claim if you're an auto compounding dog is dog being LP plus pig that you're earning compound interest. So you're earning compound interest, but dogs being BP tokens, which are not locked. So that means at any point you can still unpair those and access that BNB. So it's not like you go into the non-compound earning BNB, you go into the auto compounding and you're not earning BNB anymore. You're earning pigs and LPs. No, you're still earning all of that BNB, plus it's being put to work for you and being utilized to compound interest in the form of pigs, which you can take in the pig pen to earn that BUSD, which is being generated from the transaction of dogs, again, staking of non-native LP tokens, which are being lent up to PancakeSwap to earn an additional 35 to 40% APY a year, which is paid out to the pigpen and BUSD, plus your share of all the BUSD, which is generated from deposit withdrawal fees on the farm. So this is where the pigs is coming from when you see claim pigs on the dog pound. It's the compound interest that you're earning in the form of pigs from the auto compounding pool. It's very powerful, and it's something I'm very excited about, as you could probably tell. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna hop in a meeting with my Smo. Thanks, Bartertown. Those were great questions. I'll be back in here, in a few days, just to have an interview, and we should be collecting questions for AMAs. You know, I don't like to really just open it up because there's too many people here to have, you know, to just open it up and have a million people talking. That's why I prefer to people questions. We can get to them one at a time, but we should collect the questions, and I will address them the next time we hop on here. So, thanks, guys. I appreciate it, and you know, thank you. I'm gonna hop off now.